Aisha thought it was finally over. She placed verses on the walls, tied charms to the doors, and covered the mirror. But exactly at 3 a.m., the lights began to flicker. Suddenly, the same burned handprint appeared again. But this time, it wasn't just a hand. From inside the mirror, a full figure emerged, a scorched face, hollow black eyes, and a twisted smile. "I'm back!" a chilling voice thundered. Aisha tried to scream, but her voice got stuck in her throat. The room grew colder, her breaths heavier. Blood began to spread across the floor near her bed. Then, the bulb shattered, and darkness swallowed the room. The last thing visible was that horrific figure reaching out from the mirror, grabbing Aisha's hand. By morning, the room was completely empty. No Aisha, no sound. Only a massive burned handprint remained on the wall. Was it truly the end? Or is the entity now waiting for someone else? After Aisha's disappearance, her flat remained empty for days. Neighbors only remembered hearing screams that night, and then silence. 2 weeks later, the flat was rented to a new tenant, a young student named Rehan, who had just moved to London University. Excited to find a cheap place, he ignored the strange vibes. On the wall, Rehan noticed a strange black mark, like a burned handprint. Laughing, he said, "Probably some prank by the last tenants." But that night, while he slept, exactly at 3 a.m., the light flickered on by itself. Rehan opened his eyes and saw the same handprint on the wall, now wet and fresh, as if someone had pressed it moments ago. Then, in the mirror, he saw it. A shadow, slowly moving closer. Rehan stared at the mirror, terrified. The shadow didn't stop. It kept moving closer. Footsteps echoed in the room, though no one was visible on the floor. Suddenly, the book beside his bed fell to the ground on its own. Rehan's heartbeat raced. He wanted to scream, but his voice froze. The burned handprint appeared on the mirror again, slowly dragging downward as if someone inside was trying to crawl out. Rehan rushed to the door, but it wouldn't open. Then, a cold breath brushed past his ear and a chilling whisper said, "You're next." Rehan's knees weakened. In the mirror, a scorched face emerged, grinning slowly. Rehan stumbled back, trembling, when suddenly the window slammed shut. A gust of cold wind swept in and the lights went out. In the darkness, only a faint red glow seeped from the mirror. Inside it, the scorched face was now fully visible, with its entire body. Without warning, a hand pushed out of the mirror and grabbed Rehan's arm. His body froze, as if gripped by ice. He tried to scream, but it felt like an invisible hand covered his mouth. His body was being pulled toward the mirror. His nails scraped against the wall, the room echoing with horrific sounds, and then silence. Rehan collapsed on the floor, gasping for air, but on his arm, a burned mark appeared, the same one Aisha once had. Rehan couldn't sleep the entire night. The burning sensation on his arm was unbearable. By morning, he rushed to his university friend Hamza, who was known for researching paranormal stories and jinn. With a trembling voice, Rehan told him everything. Hamza stayed silent for a while before saying, "This isn't an ordinary shadow. It's a cursed spirit. Once it marks you, you belong to it." Terrified, Rehan asked, "So what do I do?" "It's trying to drag me into the mirror." Hamza replied, "There's only one way. You must go back to that flat and destroy the mirror. Otherwise, it will never let you go." Rehan's face turned pale. He remembered how Aisha feared the mirror and how she vanished in the end. But it was already too late, because at that very moment, the same burned handprint appeared on the wall of Hamza's room. As dusk fell, Rehan and Hamza returned to the abandoned flat. The moment they opened the door, a foul stench swept over them. The flat looked deserted, yet the burned handprint on the wall had grown darker. In the center of the room, stood the same mirror. This time there was no faint shadow. Instead, loud, eerie laughter echoed from within. Hamza pulled out a small hammer and some charms from his bag. Standing near the mirror, he said, "This mirror is the gateway. If we destroy it, maybe the spirit will be trapped." Despite his fear, Rehan lifted the hammer and struck the mirror with all his strength. But instead of shattering, the mirror rippled like water. Suddenly, a burning hand reached out, grabbing Rehan by the throat. The room shook violently. Blood-like stains spread across the walls. Hamza shouted, "Rehan, step back before breaking it. We must recite the verses." But by then, the scorched face had already emerged halfway out of the mirror. Rehan's neck trembled under the grip of the burning hand. Hamza, shivering, began reciting verses loudly. The entire room shook violently, as if the ground itself was about to split. The mirror rippled like water. The scorched figure inside was forcing its way out with all its strength. Rehan struggled for breath. Hamza shouted, "Now! Smash it with all your strength!" With the last ounce of energy, Rehan lifted the hammer and struck the mirror. A deafening blast echoed. The glass shattered into thousands of pieces. Darkness engulfed the room, followed by a blood-curdling scream. Then, silence. Rehan collapsed to the floor, gasping for air. Hamza looked around. The walls were bare, no burned handprints, no bloodstains. The room was cold and empty. Rehan whispered, "Is it over?" Hamza slowly nodded, but then they both noticed something chilling. In every shard of broken glass on the floor, the same scorched face was still staring back. The story has ended, or maybe not.